Welcome back. I got a sad gang story for you, and this is what gang officers do. In the summertime, the city hires kids to work different recreational areas, and in my area is all 99% Latino, and it's also some gangs infested areas. They sent two people from the San Fernando Valley, a guy and a girl, and they're 18, 19 years old. You don't get a choice when you put your app in. You just put your app in. They send you where they need you. Obviously, they send them all over the place, and maybe the East LA needed more people. Who knows? So anyway, so they're working a pool rec area. Guy and a girl, 18, 19 years old, and one day the male had to go off and do something, and when he was gone, 4 Latino gang members came in and they raped her. Okay, brutally raped her. And as they're raping her, they're writing her nicknames on the wall in paint. Okay, so the calls come out. We're working gangs. We hear the call. We roll. We think it's probably gang related because that's a hot gang area there. And as we get there, she's traumatized. The ambulance is there, and she's giving out descriptions, which she was very good at this, very articulate. You're just grabbing each guy, and she says they roll on the wall. So we look at the walls. My partner and I, we've been working gangs for like 8 months, and we go, we know those guys. So I tell the sergeant, we'll got a phone. We'll call you. We're gonna go find out who they are. Off we go. Previous story on realcopstoryvideos.com is people wonder why we make arrests for beer and pot. Well, it's on gang members because we keep files on them. This is why we keep files on them. The ACLU gets all upset over this because we're filing it, but no, this is where we solve crimes. I'm for the victims and the citizenry. They're for some philosophical wine-swelling crap, okay? I'm here for the reality. So we find the names, addresses. We call the supervisor. He calls more units. Within an hour and a half, all 4 in custody. Great caper. Everybody got accommodations. Okay. Now we fast forward to the sad part. We get some subpoenas, some delays. About 3 months down the road, they're going to take a jury trial. So the jurors are in place. We're there. They got 2 of them say they don't speak English, so we got 2 translators, which are paid instantly by you. They got 4 public defenders paid by you, which is fine. They have the right to counsel, and we're ready to go. So I'm at the because I'm a gang expert, so I'm going to explain how we got there and all that. And when I testify, I'm with just 2 district attorneys in there. One lady district attorney, one male district attorney, because they want to show uniformity here because they got a lady here. She's the only witness. So she started to testify. And one of the elements of a robbery and rape is that you feel that you're going to die or be greatly bodily injured. Okay? So the prosecutor asked her after she gave a description, and she pointed out each of the guys that had raped her. She was very good. He said, now when this was happening, when they held you down by the throat and you couldn't breathe, I'm doing a brief synopsis of her testimony. I don't want to get graphic here. What were you feeling? And she goes, I was happy. And I look at the DA and I go, and he goes, you were happy? She goes, yes, I was. And the judge looks at her, and the jurors are all mumbling. There's like 6 or 7 women in the jury. And so the district attorney, pretty smart, she stood up and said, Your Honor, I think we should take a break right now because I think maybe the testimony might have caused her stress, and we need to make sure she's okay. Okay, and that's what he used, an excuse to stop her and find out what's happening. And I think the judge understood that because yes, you can have a break. Of course, they objected because they want to. They love it. They love his testimony. It's going their way. So we get up and we go into the room with her. I think her mother was there. The two district attorneys and myself. That's the only piece she wanted in there because I talked to her later, and she was confident that I was one of the gang guys, and she liked me, so we went in there. So here we go. So the district attorney says, okay, now you said you were happy. Why were you happy? And she looks around at her mother, and I'm sitting there going, I don't know. Well, this is weird. She says, because I'm a born-again Christian, and I felt that they were going to kill me, and I was going to see my Lord. That's why I was happy. And we looked at each other. I'm tensing up now. Okay, I got teared-eyed on that one. And the D's, they looked at her. They looked at her, and they were like, I look on their faces, including my face. Well, nobody ever heard that before. She's not crying. Her mother is. She's beside herself. And so the district attorney says, okay, we want you to tell the truth and that exact thing, if that's what you want to say, on the stand. We need to know that. Otherwise, she says, oh no, that's because she has no idea about law or the elements of a crime or all this stuff. She just wants to tell what happened. So here we come. And we walk out, and all these a-holes, they watched her leave smiling. This is what they do. These are gang members. These aren't your local date rape guys, which they probably do the same thing. But I mean, they're smiling, they're kicking back. I'm sure their attorneys told them, it's in the bag, you're going to be out of here this afternoon. I know that. Okay. And they're all smiling and everything. So we walk out, they put her up on the stand. The jurors are kind of like looking at each other. They don't know what's going to happen. She gets on the stand. You said earlier that you were smiling. Oh, you're happy. Why were you happy? And she made that statement. I can't even say this statement because it tears me up. Okay, but I'll say it again in case you missed it. I was happy because I thought I was going to die and I was going to see my Lord. Okay. You couldn't even hear breathing in that room. It was dead silence. Okay. How do you give a follow-up question to that? But he did. She did. She says, so you felt at that moment that you were going to die? She says, yes, I did. No further question. Sat down. And I'm thinking, okay, what are they going to do? Okay. Are they going to attack her? You cannot attack that. Bad enough they attack women when they're raped anyway. Okay. I've been in many trials like that where the defense just slams into these women, which is bullshit. Pardon my French. I have a wife, I have 2 daughters, okay? So I'm thinking, what are they going to do? And I'm looking over because I hate defense attorneys. They make up everything. They lie and everything else. They stood up and said, no questions. I thought that was unbelievable. I looked over and all 4 of them stood up. No further questions. They knew at that moment that they lost their case. Because everything after that, any question they bring up after that, because they would bring up things like, we dress sexy. She's in a bathing suit. Okay? But they do that. Okay? Every question they would say after that statement, it would be on deaf ears. Because you could see the jurors were already looking away. The women were already looking away. The women didn't want to look at the defendants. They were just looking away. They were looking at her, looking at me, looking at, they weren't going to hear a word those defense counsel said. They already made up their mind at that moment that they were guilty. And sure enough, we had some arguments. Jurors left. I think it was like 1 in the afternoon. I know it was in the afternoon early. They went out to deliberate. We're out in the hallway. This takes days normally, okay, because they get free dinner and all that. No, an hour. They came out in an hour. And as they're coming out, pardon my, I got a sinus condition. Also, I'm kind of emotional over that statement. Sorry about that. As they're coming out, the DA leans over, both of them, and they go, this isn't good. This is not good when they come out fast on that. We in our experience, it's a not guilty because they walked in and said this is a crap and they vote not guilty. And we're going, yeah, I told him, yeah, but it's 4 defendants. Wouldn't it take longer to do that? He goes, I don't know. Jurors are unpredictable. Remember OJ? So they come out, they get into place. Do you have a verdict? Yes, we do. Guilty, all counts. Guilty, all over the place. And they're looking at the suspect stopped laughing. That's strange. I wanted to laugh, but I can't. I'm a professional. They're just looking down now. 2 of them are ex-cons, 2 of them on probation. These aren't nice kids, okay? These are a-holes, okay? And their attorneys are not really in shock. I was looking at them because they know, they've been around, they're public defenders, they defend people that do these things all the time. They probably didn't want to defend these kids because they know they're wrong, but they have to give them in this country you have to give them a legal defense, okay? But they weren't in shock, but the defendants were. And then so that was it. They took them all the way in chains. The judge thanked the jury. Attorneys, their little pack of attorneys over there walking out, and the lady jurors came around and hugged the victim. That was pretty good. Okay, and I thought, wow, woo, we got a real jury here. This is a real jury. So that was a pretty good caper in the sense that she told people what she felt. It was an unbelievable story, and I hope you enjoyed the story. It was something else. Okay. Anyway, thank you very much. We'll see you next time.